Big news for fans of psychological crime thrillers. The Beast in Me is officially coming back for Season 2 on Netflix. The show has been renewed, and it's already in active development. Production details. Now, filming details haven't been locked in just yet, but here's what we do know. Production will once again be based out of Kearney, New Jersey. And behind the scenes, the creative team is largely staying the same. Howard Gordon returns as showrunner, and Gabe Rotter, who co-created the series with Gordon, is back as head writer. He's joined by Daniel Pearl, who also wrote for Season 1. And directing duties are once again in the hands of Antonio Campos. How Season 1 ended. Okay, let's talk about that finale, Episode 8, called The Last Word, because it sets up everything we're about to see in Season 2. Nile Jarvis manages to pin enough evidence on Aggie Wiggs to force her on the run. In a chilling move, he plants Teddy's body in the bedroom of her late 8-year-old son, Cooper. The FBI gets tipped off, and Nile's uncle, Rick, threatens Aggie's ally, Agent Erica Breton. Meanwhile, things take a dark turn for Nile's father, Martin Jarvis. After Rick reveals what Nile's really been doing, Martin suffers a stroke and ends up in the hospital. But even with the Jarvis family falling apart, life looks good for Nile. He's about to take over as head of the Jarvis estate, and his second wife, Nina, is pregnant. Aggie's confession. With nowhere left to turn, Aggie finally surrenders to the police. But before that, she opens up to Nina at Nina's own art gallery, and she tells her everything. She talks about her frustration with her son's behavior in the backseat of the car, which ultimately led to his death. She reveals how Nile used a page ripped from his first wife, Madison's journal, to stage her murder as a suicide. And she confirms that it was Nile who killed Teddy Feenig. The twist that takes Nile down. Nina goes home and convinces Nile to finally tell the truth, and he does. He confesses everything to her, and she seems to accept him, even hugging him afterward. But it's all a setup. The next day, right after a press conference where Nile and Olivia Benitez announce their new plans, Nile is blindsided. Nina sends him an audio recording of his own confession, one she secretly recorded the day before. She's already sent it to the police. They arrive on the spot and arrest him publicly. The fallout. Near the end of the finale, Aggie visits Nile in prison to tell him about her upcoming book, titled, fittingly, The Beast in Me. Thanks to evidence gathered by Rick, Nile is sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences. Rick then makes the devastating choice to take his comatose brother Martin off life support, sparing him from watching the Jarvis legacy collapse. And then comes the final gut punch. Nile is murdered in prison by men paid off by Rick. The episode closes on Nina, staring down at her newborn son with a look of pure fear on her face. A's returning for Season 2. Based on how Season 1 wrapped up, here's who we can expect to see again. Claire Danes as Aggie Wiggs, Natalie Morales as Aggie's ex-wife Shelley, David Lyons as Agent Brian Abbott, Hetty Ann Park as Agent Erica Breton, Amir Arison as Erica's ex-husband, Frank Breton, Deirdre O'Connell as Aggie's literary agent and trusted friend, Carol McGiddish. That's everything we know so far about The Beast in Me Season 2. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.